Hello all, and welcome to another episode on my 117 Survival Minecraft world. I am the Survival Architect, and in today's video, I'm hoping to get some stuff done. Need to finish this house, still missing some walls, and I'm not entirely happy with it yet. So there's walls missing, and do some more mining underground, and get myself fully set up with some better gear than what I've got. Now, I have already recorded this intro and already done some stuff in this episode, but I recorded it while the last video was still rendering on my computer, so all my files ended up getting corrupted, which is really annoying, but I managed to get some stuff done that you will not have seen. Over here, I have used that cave spider, or that spider spawner I found, to make a rudimentary XP farm, hence why I have 42 levels and some enchanted kit. So down here, in this hole, I have put together a little AFK spot to hit spiders. This definitely needs some upgrading. I just needed some levels, so set that up, and if I go back up to the surface, I have used one of the brand new blocks, the tinted glass, to make this look a whole lot better from up here. So the spawner is literally right there. It really didn't spawn that deep in the world. So I thought, you know what, let's make this look relatively good from up here. Add some of this tinted glass, which actually blocks out all the light. So in there it has a light level of 0. And use this as my start game XP farm. So that's worked pretty well. I have put together some I also found this axolotl, so he's now in my inventory as well. But I have put together some diamond kit. This was incredible. It was originally an efficiency 4 pick, but I enchanted another one and then combined it, and now have this, which I have used to get some more diamonds. I made this sword, so I could not have to keep replacing my sword while I was farming those XP levels, and I have made this other pickaxe, which will probably end up being combined with something to make a silk touch. So let's get into the rest of the episode. So at the start of this episode, I really, really want to finish this house. I'm not entirely happy with it yet. I think I've knocked out a block or two. But I'd like to finish both the exterior and interior of this. So obviously the interior is still full of all this scaffolding blocks, and I'd like to just get this finished. I like the base shape. I think the roof might be a bit out of proportion, but we shall see when it's all been put together, because obviously the roof is solid, but the base is really not. So we'll put it all together, and I'll play around with some of the new blocks. I have also been mining and got way more of this raw iron and raw copper blocks, that is, so I can actually finish these bits in here, which are ridiculously expensive. But I will jump into the first time lapse of this video and get that done. So, I've been at this for a couple of hours now, and I added some walls in here. I'm really attempting to use these new blocks. There's a fair few. I mean, I really like the raw iron blocks that are stuck up there. Not sure about this in here, so if you could leave some suggestions, that'd be great. But I also kind of figured that, well, this is kind of out of proportion, so maybe sticking it up a bit out of the ground would work better. So I chose to terraform it by first dropping it in and then bringing it out, which you would have obviously seen on the time lapse. And I'm chucking in some details, like I'm using the dripstone, which I have a small dripstone farm over there. It's slow as heck, but oh well. And using that as one of the extra textures in the low-lying areas, and then using cobblestone, stone, and then these bone blocks as rocks and bones to respectively, and that it works really well with the desert, as well as like mixing in textures of of the sandstone. I don't have any in my inventory, and sand into the build so that it's not all just the sand. Because if you look kind of over here, sand just looks kind of plain. I also died a whole bunch. You probably saw that on the time lapse if I didn't press F1, which I don't think I did. But now that that's all done, I would like to start exploiting villages a bit more. So I've obviously got these pickaxes, and I enchanted a shovel and an axe as well, mostly so that I could, efficiency 4 is enough to instant mine sand. So that's what I was doing to get that hole dug really quickly. But they aren't perfect yet. So I'm going to need villagers now to get the enchanted books I need. So I've obviously got this farmer here. He's been trading wheat. I have a relatively small wheat farm over there. And I've also got this guy in here who trades for the mending books. So for now, until I get a few more baby villagers, I'm going to set up a breeder with those 2 villagers after I trade all my wheat and paper and get a few more books. And I will be back in just a moment. Okay, since the last cut, I have moved some villagers from over at the village and made this little thing. Now, it is intentionally really awful looking. I do not plan to have this as a permanent setup. It's just here for the start of for a little while I get more resources. But these 2 have grown up and moved through my water streams. From the villager breeder, which is in through here. Through here, and you break this wall, and you reach the villager breeder. Now these guys have not made a baby in a while, so I'm thinking I don't have enough food for them. Or maybe there's workstation problems or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But I will keep tinkering with that and make it so that it can still work. But for the 2 that I've currently got, rather than putting them into trading, I'm actually going to make them into automatic wheat and carrot producers. Or, well, just wheat for now. And this is so that I can get a permanent automatic supply of food to give to the 2 that are in the breeder, so that I can make more villagers and, as such, expand this area. So that's the next thing to do. I also have the mending villager up here in a minecart in a hole, because I only had 2 villagers left, including the one that I made into a mending villager. So I made a temporary breeder up here, and there's evidence of my work down here, where there's a bunch of holes and water, just random area like this. There's a villager breeder down there. But there is evidence of my previous working. So it's taken me about 3 hours to get that set up, because moving villages is a serious pain. So I'll get those set up now, and I will be back. Okay, a little bit of time has passed. I have done some stuff in here. If I break through this wall, you can see that I've got a farmer and a little farm. And he will try to throw bread, which is crafted from this, to his friend here. This produces bread automatically, so all 17 bread that I've got with me now was pulled out of this chest not 2 seconds ago. I'd also like to credit this method of both keeping the trapdoors in place and using the hopper minecart to collect the items thrown before this guy can even pick them up. To Mumbo Jumbo, who I saw on his Hermitcraft 8 episode, use a similar thing, except with 2 hopper minecarts instead, so that he could have this as a multi-layer farm. Currently, I don't have carrots or potatoes, so I can't really do that. But he used it to make a multi-layer farm, so that's where I improvised it to make this possible. This does feed into a hopper, which then feeds into this. I have also had, about 2 seconds ago, my third baby villager drop out of here, because I gave him more food. And he's just sitting down there waiting for him to grow. When he does, he will stick his head into that water stream, which he will then swim up, and that puts him up through here, and then eventually drops him into here. I then use this lever, which has a whole bunch of minecarts, to flick this, and the way that this is set up means that the minecart will pick up a villager and then keep moving on. So I will first make a farmer to get a whole bunch of emeralds and then use the emeralds to trade for books, which it'll take a little while, but it'll get there. So while I'm waiting for my stuff over in the bottom of that mountain behind this one to get going, I thought I'd discuss what my actual plan is for the villages. So I obviously said I was keeping that area really ugly, because I'm not going to be using it forever. That's because I want to move them all over here. Now I'm about 200 blocks or so from the actual place where I have them, and this is a double ravine. Oh, actually, I think it's a triple. It's a lot of ravine. I have already lit this up. Actually, it is a triple ravine because that is a water ravine that runs over in that direction to the ocean, which is just over there. But what I want to do with it is make this into kind of a ravine town, and then use that as my villager trading setup. Because I personally don't like the classic villager trading halls where they're all stacked up in rows, just like there's another villager here and one here. I've made those before. I don't like them as much. I would rather make something that looks really good and then put all the villagers in there and have dedicated areas where they can work. Especially because the villagers do like to shift workstations around, and I'm not exactly sure how to stop them from doing that. So if I just dump them all in one room, I can look around the room and find the ones I want. So that's the plan for the villagers in the long run, and I will probably, well, I'm already collecting materials for it, but I'm going to start building it either in episode 4 or 5. So expect a time lapse of me making this into a really cool looking ravine town in a few episodes. That ravine also runs back in the wall over there and back this way as well. I'll probably clear a lot of that water out using the copious amounts of sand I've got from my terraforming around my house. But that's the plan for the villagers. So while I was doing some stuff over here while waiting again for more villager stuff to happen, because it takes forever, I had a wandering trader spawn in. Now, the wandering traders give you the micro blocks. So I've got a few of them here. I managed to get the crafting table, raw copper, birch, and raw iron micro blocks. Or the raw iron was a bit older. But these are really good fun and really good value in this game, especially with the armor stands and mechanics you can do with those. Especially with one of the data packs are down. Now these are a data pack again from Hermitcraft, but I just love the fact that these are tiny little blocks that I can place around and then place again. Now I can't make buildings out of them, but they're really cool things to use in decoration. So I definitely plan on doing that. Yes, the other thing is once you place them, they turn into a different block. It's really strange. I don't fully understand why. But anyway, I just thought I should mention it. I really love these blocks, these micro blocks, and the extra heads. So each of these heads has a certain chance. I think the husk is like 2%. That's 100%. That's 100%. These like 30% or something. It varies. Now the spider head is I think 2% again, without a looting sword. I don't have a looting sword. This is only sharpness and mending. So the fact that I have that shows how many spiders I've killed. I have another few. I think I've there's 2 there, and there's another 3 over at the spawner. So that kind of tells you how many spiders I killed to get the 40 levels that I then proceeded to lose by dying. So there we go. That's the micro blocks, and I'll be collecting those and occasionally updating you guys on how many I have. Okay, I have done a little bit of work off camera, and I've got all of this working. So I've been AFK for 10 minutes, and I've already got all of these carrots, which are going to be incredibly useful for getting emeralds over here, so I can get better gear. I realize I haven't explained how all this works. So in here, I have a farmer with, it's meant to be 1 composter, but it's got 3 because this guy wasn't picking this one. So there's a composter in here, and that selects the villager's trade, or this villager's profession as a farmer. So he'll run around and farm out all these carrots. Now, a villager has 5 inventory slots, so it could pick up 5 stacks of items. This guy in here has a fully empty inventory. This guy was literally grabbed from my villager breeder down there and put straight in there, so he's got nothing in his inventory. This guy will have around 5 stacks of carrots. The excess he'll put in here, make some bone meal. He'll also try and throw food from here into here to this guy. Now, these hopper minecarts are here to pick up the items, so he'll try and throw the items in like this. This guy won't pick them up. Instead, because I've thrown all those items into the hopper minecarts and then they fall into the hoppers below, they'll travel down here and into this chest, which you can see by the amount of bread that's in here. Same goes for this one, except that the wheat is automatically converted to bread by that farmer in there. Then I use the reason I have the wheat is so that I can put it into my villager breeder over there and use it as a relatively good source of food. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. So that's how that works. And I'd like to credit the collection method to Mumbo Jumbo, as I said earlier. He's the one who used this specific design with the double minecarts. Another method is using fence posts, and the villager throws the item and it hits the fence post and falls into a hopper below. That is Biological Geek Boy. So I'd like to credit those 2 creators for their work in making this entire thing work properly. So the last thing I want to do today is make these prices a lot cheaper. 43 emeralds for efficiency 5. Let's make that 1 emerald. We're going to do that with the zombification of villagers. Now, I've already trapped a zombie underground here. You can hear him. And given him an item to hold. Actually, I think he just picked up some dirt. But the plan is to get him in behind here, and then you flip a lever, and the villager drops down and gets killed by the zombie. Then I can pull him back up and use golden apples and weakness potions to cure him. I can brew weakness potions. I found a brewing stand in another village, so I don't have to go to the nether yet. I don't like the nether, obviously. And I've already got slime balls from visiting a swamp. That's just sitting in a chest over here, so I'll get on that now. Check in just a moment. Okay, I've got everything set up. I've been to the nether and grabbed myself some blaze powder. I've got myself the splash potions of weakness I need. And now I basically come over here, flick some levers, and the zombie that that's 4 villagers. The zombie that I've got in there should walk over and whack these guys until they turn into zombie villagers. Then I can pull these levers again, they'll pop back up, and then heal them using Splash Potion of Weakness and a golden apple. Where is this zombie? Where are you? It's over here somewhere. So, yep. So there. He's just died. So I can put him back up. Throw this. Right. And see how it's shaking? That means he's going to get better. So I'm going to do that to all of these guys and then eventually get the best trades possible. Alright, after doing the purification process on these, about 5 minutes has passed, and these guys have all come back. Now I've zombified the rest of them, of course, except for this guy, he's not done yet. For some reason he's not being attacked. But these guys are all done. And if I right click on this, it's gone from 54 to 29 in sharpness 5. Now, that's going to go lower. It does stagger, but this guy is now 1 emerald for silk touch. That is phenomenal. This guy is 9 emeralds for protection 4. Like they're pretty much perfect trades. So I've pretty much put that together now, and I'm just waiting for the rest of these to heal. But on that note, I'm going to end this episode. So thank you all very much for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video.